So finally we want to move to the midpoint theorem, and it's very simple idea, and again an idea which will repeat over and over again. Even when we move to similarity, we'll see the same idea in action again. And the idea is that if I have a triangle ABC and I take the midpoint of AB and the midpoint of AC and I join them, and let me call it D and E. So DE is going to be parallel to BC is one point or one thing that I want to prove. The other thing that I want to prove is that DE is going to be half of BC. So let's see how will we go about proving this. I want to prove that DE is parallel to BC and DE is half of BC. And again a very common idea, I will draw a line parallel to line BA. So I want to draw a line parallel to line BA. And then I will extend this line and let me call it point F. Now, because these two lines are parallel, these will be the internal alternate interior angles. These are the parallel lines, this is the transversal, these are the alternate interior angles. So this angle is equal to this angle. Moreover, this angle is equal to this angle because of vertically opposite angles of two lines intersecting each other. And AE is going to be equal to EC. Why is that? Because I know E is the midpoint of line AC. So I am thinking of triangle DAC and triangle ECF, and I am seeing that maybe a congruence idea can kick in. Angle, angle, side, side, angle, angle. That means angle, side, angle congruence can kick in, and that means triangle DAC is congruent to triangle FCE because these are going to be the corresponding points, right? Once I know these two triangles are congruent to each other, that means all the sides are going to be equal. This side is equal to this side is going to be equal to this side, and this side is going to be equal to this side. I also know because D is the midpoint of AB, AD is going to be equal to DB, so DB is equal to DA. And now I am saying DA is equal to CF. So if I look at this figure ADFC, I know BD is equal to FC, BD is equal to FC, and I also know that BD is parallel to FC because that's how we created the line. The moment I do this, that the opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other, the moment this kicks in, I know BDFC is going to become a parallelogram for me. My first requirement that DE is parallel to BC is definitely proven because DF is parallel to BC, so therefore DE is also definitely parallel to BC. The other part that I wanted to prove was that DE is half of BC. How will I go about doing that? DF is equal to BC. Why is that? Because in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are not only parallel but equal to each other. Remember, we started with the definition of a parallelogram as the opposite pairs are parallel to each other. From that, we can conclude very easily that the opposite sides are going to be equal to each other. In this case, I had one pair as equal and parallel. From that, I concluded that this is a parallelogram, and therefore these opposite sides are also parallel and equal to each other. So I know DF is equal to BC, and DF is nothing but DE plus EF. I also see that DE is equal to EF. That means this is nothing but 2 into DE, and 2 into DE is equal to BC. That means DE is equal to half of BC. So therefore we have proven that if I have a triangle and two midpoints of the sides of the triangles are joined, the line formed will be parallel to the third side, and the size of line segment DE is going to be half of BC. And hopefully it is also clear where did the proof come from. Now remember, we have done this using congruence and alternate interior angles. When we do similarity, we will again prove it using similarity also, and that will also work because congruence is a unique subset of similarity. So the ideas are almost interchangeable. You can go from one direction to the other. So as of now, the midpoint theorem being that if you have a triangle and join the midpoints of the sides, this is going to be parallel to the third side and is going to be half of the third side, hence proven. So let's stay with the same idea, and this time we'll be working in the opposite direction. So I have a triangle ABC and I find the midpoint of one side and call it D, let's say. And from this midpoint I draw a line parallel to another side being BC. And if I do so, this line will end up bisecting line AC, or E is the midpoint of AC, or AE is equal to EC. This is what I want to prove. Pretty much the same process. I will draw a line parallel to line BA and let me call it F and G. So I draw a line CG which is parallel to BA. And now let me start playing around with this. Line BA and CG are parallel to each other. This angle is going to be equal to this angle. Whatever the value here, the same value here. And now if I think of BA and CG as a parallel and DF as the transversal, whatever the angle here is going to be the angle at point F. Now if I notice DE and BC as the parallel and AB as the transversal, this angle is going to be equal to this angle. Why? Because corresponding angles are equal when a transversal cuts across a parallel line. So I have a quadrilateral BDFC. I know DF is parallel to BC. I also see that the opposite angles are equal to each other in this quadrilateral. That means this BDFC is a parallelogram. That means this side is equal to this side. I also know that BD is equal to DA. So if BD is this symbol, DA is also this symbol. And now if I look at triangle ADE and EFC, I notice angles are equal and the included side is also equal. So angle, side, angle congruence kicks in. This triangle is congruent to this triangle. So everything is going to be equal. This is going to be equal to this, and this side is going to be equal to this side. Once you come to this point, that means AE is equal to EC. That means AE is equal to half of AC. That means E is the midpoint of the segment AC. And therefore it is proven that if you draw a parallel line from a midpoint of one side to another side, it will end up bisecting the third side. Not only that, once again, DE is again going to be half of BC, because BC is equal to DF and DE is equal to EF. So therefore DE is half of BC. So just going in the opposite direction. So fairly straightforward, very much like what we did earlier, just working from the opposite direction, that's all. So maybe one more problem to wrap this up. There is a triangle ABC and I take all the midpoints and join them. Let me call it D, E and F. And it is given to me that area of this triangle DEF is equal to 5 units. So we haven't looked at area at all. We don't even know the formula of area, I'm assuming so far. But it is given to me that this area is 5 units, and the question is, what is the area of triangle ABC? Essentially, we just want to practice with the midpoint theorem. So this is a midpoint, this is a midpoint. If I join them, this line DE is going to be parallel to BC. DE is parallel to BC. Now think for a minute, BDEF as a quadrilateral. BDEF as a quadrilateral. DE is parallel to BF as well, because instead of C, if you write BF, it doesn't make too much of a difference. So the opposite sides are parallel to each other. It was also given to you that DE is half of BC. That means DE is equal to BF. So you know this is equal to this. That means not only BDEF is a quadrilateral, BDEF is a parallelogram. And if I am looking at BDEF as a parallelogram, DF is a diagonal of the parallelogram, and the diagonal of a parallelogram divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Congruent triangles means equal triangles in all possible things. That means if the area of this triangle is 5 units, this triangle also will be 5 units. Forget about this story for now for a minute and focus on the quadrilateral DEFC. Once again, I know DE is parallel to FC. Why? Because DE was parallel to BC, so definitely it is going to be parallel to C. So DE is parallel to FC, and again DE is equal to FC. Why? DE was half of BC and FC is half of BC. So FC is equal to DE. So again I have a quadrilateral DEFC, which is a parallelogram. Once again, a parallelogram means that the diagonal will divide the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. And again, congruency means everything is identical, shape, size, area, everything is identical. So if the area of this triangle is 5 units, the area of this triangle is also going to be 5 units. You can repeat the process for this quadrilateral. Just change your orientation. This midpoint lining, this line joining the midpoints of two sides is going to be parallel to this side. So EF is going to be parallel to both AD and DB if you want to. So they are definitely parallel to each other. This is going to be half of AB and AD is also half of AB. So this is also equal to this. That means the opposite sides are parallel and equal. Therefore, this is a parallelogram. And once again, the diagonal will divide it into two equally congruent triangles. So if this is 5 units, this is also 5 units. And we figured out earlier that this was also 5 units. So if this was the question that the area of this triangle is 5, my overall answer would be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. My answer would be 20. And the idea being, and I can again create a theorem around this, that if all the midpoints of the sides of the triangles are joined, you end up dividing the area of the triangle into 4 equal parts. So suddenly one day somebody will say that you know the midpoints when joined together, divide the area of the triangle into 4 equal parts. This is nothing but the same idea discussed in another way.